Hello. Today, it's not only the readings that I have an opportunity to reflect on, but I got the great opportunity to be assigned the readings for the memorial of Saint Teresa of the Child Jesus, Virgin and Doctor of the Church. The reading itself, today's gospel, there's a lot there, but honestly, in the very beginning, we have Jesus appointed 72 other disciples whom he sent ahead of him in pairs. And there's stuff about, if you come into a town where you're received and, what to do, and if you're in a town where, where they do not receive you. And for me, and this is a simple one this evening, what grabs my attention and what I think, for me personally, I feel called to be more aware of and reminded of is that when I was raised in a Catholic home, youngest of 8 in a big Irish Catholic family, but I certainly steered away from my faith for a little while, and when I came back to it, I felt very isolated. And today, anytime this is similar to the story of the road to Emmaus, in that being sent off in pairs, and the idea of that we as people of faith are always called to community and life. Sometimes we'll be welcomed and things will go our way, and sometimes things will be difficult, even in our ministry. But for me, I take such tremendous comfort and I feel called to be reminded of that today, that I always have, I'm never alone. And for me, so often, sometimes it's that I'm never alone because I have the gift of prayer and adoration and all of the wonderful tools in Scripture that we have at our disposal. But I also have the great opportunity to experience my faith and to see literally the face of Christ in other people, from our community, from my own personal community, inside and outside of St. Charles, and what a great reading for today. That as we go again as we go along and navigate what's becoming more and more normal life experience, to be reminded that for a while, especially in the thick of everything over the last 6-7 months, where many of us may have felt a sense of isolation or we're aware of people who did feel that way, to be reminded that we are not alone, and also to be reminded that we have this great responsibility and opportunity to make sure that other people know that they're not alone. It's one of the things that I feel like oftentimes in our readings throughout the last 6 or 7 months, be it what is actually being conveyed or being what I think I needed to, so often we read and see what we need to see, what we need to hear, and for me, throughout this, I need to hear that we're a part of a community larger than our own, that we're a part of a faith community that will hold us in these moments of uncertainty. And as far as Teresa is concerned, I'll actually read something I found of hers that I just think seems especially important to me, that she says, sometimes when I read spiritual treatises in which perfection is shown with 1,000 obstacles surrounded by a crowd of illusions, my poor little mind quickly tires. I close the learned book which is breaking my head and drying up my heart, and I take up Holy Scripture. Then all seems luminous to me. A single word uncovers my soul, infinite horizons, perfection seems simple. I see that it is enough to recognize one's nothingness and to abandon oneself like a child into God's arms. I remember years ago, again, not when I was very much back in and embracing my Catholic faith. I was, I had some time on my hands. I was in Washington, D.C., and I had a few hours just to kill, and I walked into a random church, around 5 o'clock on one afternoon, and they were having Mass, and it just so turns out it was on this anniversary, and the priest is at one point in referencing Saint Teresa says, if we cannot develop the faith of a child, we'll never be fully present to our faith. And I remember struggling with that, but being blown away by it at the same time. And I love that idea, especially at that point in my life where my faith, as I was doing the spiritual exercises of St. Ignatius, and I was reading lots of different things to really explore my faith and expand it. It was such a great moment to say, I have a very simple idea that brought me here, a very profound and simple idea that I need more than I have. I need to feel like there's something bigger than me that's holding me in some of the most challenging times in my life. And she so reminds me of that today. And today's scripture not only reminds me of her and reminds me of that, but it also reminds me, as always, that as much as I need that, that we have that great, awesome responsibility and opportunity to make sure that we're showing that for the people in our lives who may be feeling alone, who may be feeling that it's a time of need in their lives, and that we have that great opportunity, a joyous opportunity to show that faith to others, and to walk alongside them and accompany people in their journey. So wherever you may find yourselves in your own personal faith journey today, that you're not alone, and that we're not alone, and also to be reminded wherever those individuals in our lives are today, if there is need, that maybe today we ask ourselves specifically, where is that need, and how can I be that person to be sent out along with them along the road, and make sure that they feel that presence of God, and that's all I got. So I hope you have a absolutely wonderful day. Thank you, and until next week, and hopefully I'll see some of you even sooner. Thanks.